Disclaimer. This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always speak with your licensed medical professional before starting, stopping, or changing any treatment, supplement, or peptide therapy. Today we are diving deep into a topic that so many people quietly struggle with every single day, and that topic is Hashimoto's thyroiditis. If you've been diagnosed with Hashimoto's or you suspect you might have it based on symptoms like constant fatigue, hair loss, weight gain that comes out of nowhere, brain fog that slides in like a heavy fog bank, or mood swings that make no sense, then you are absolutely not alone. Hashimoto's is one of the most common autoimmune disorders on the planet, and yet most people feel like they are navigating it all by themselves. The truth is, Hashimoto's can feel isolating because the symptoms can be overwhelming, confusing, and easy for others to dismiss. So today we're going to talk about something that gives people hope again. We're going to talk about peptides and how they may support thyroid health, inflammation control, gut repair, immune modulation, and even the symptoms that come with Hashimoto's. I am going to break everything down in a slow, calm, word-by-word conversation because I want you to be able to copy and paste this into any text-to-speech tool and have it sound clear and smooth. So let's start by understanding what Hashimoto's actually is. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition where the body's immune system accidentally targets the thyroid gland. Instead of protecting your thyroid, the immune system begins attacking it, which over time can lead to low thyroid hormone levels, inflammation, tissue destruction, and a long list of symptoms that seem unrelated until you realize they all lead back to the thyroid. Hashimoto's is a condition with many layers. At the core, there is immune dysregulation. The body is overreacting in ways it should not. There is also systemic inflammation. There is often gut dysfunction. There is fatigue, metabolic slowdown, hormonal imbalance, and disruptions in overall cellular communication. And that is why peptides have become such an interesting topic. Because peptides work by sending tiny signaling messages to the body. They act like little messengers that whisper instructions that the body may have forgotten due to stress, illness, inflammation, or autoimmune issues. So let's start with one of the most talked about peptides for autoimmune support, and that is KPV. KPV is a small fragment of the alpha MSH hormone, and it is known to be incredibly anti-inflammatory. That is why so many people with digestive issues, gut inflammation, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, and even food sensitivities tend to notice improvement when KPV is used consistently. But here is why KPV gets a lot of attention in Hashimoto's conversations. Because Hashimoto's is not just a thyroid condition. It is also a gut condition. Over 70% of the immune system lives in the gut. So if the gut barrier is damaged, inflamed, or leaking, the immune system becomes confused and overactive. KPV helps calm gut inflammation. It helps reduce inflammatory cytokines. And it may support a healthier intestinal barrier. For many people with Hashimoto's, supporting the gut can help calm the immune system, reduce flare-ups, support better absorption of nutrients, and help stabilize mood and energy. Now let's talk about AOD9604. This peptide is more commonly talked about in the weight loss world because it helps regulate fat metabolism. But what many people don't realize is that AOD9604 also has anti-inflammatory properties and may help improve mitochondrial function. And mitochondrial function is extremely important for people with Hashimoto's because one of the biggest complaints is exhaustion. Not just normal tiredness. The kind of exhaustion that feels like you are walking through concrete. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell, and Hashimoto's often puts them under stress. By supporting mitochondrial efficiency, peptides like AOD9604 may help support energy production and reduce some of that deep, cellular fatigue. It is not a cure for Hashimoto's, but it is a potential tool in a bigger toolbox for people looking to support their metabolism, inflammation, and overall vitality. Another peptide worth discussing is BPC157. This is often called the body protection compound, and it is one of the most well-known peptides for gut repair. People with Hashimoto's commonly experience gut dysbiosis, poor digestion, chronic bloating, acid reflux, or leaky gut. BPC157 has been studied for its ability to support tissue repair, reduce inflammation, and promote healing throughout the digestive tract. Since gut inflammation is one of the triggers that can worsen autoimmune reactions, helping the gut heal may indirectly improve how the immune system behaves. Now, let's move into immune modulation peptides. These are peptides that help the immune system rebalance, rather than suppress it or overstimulate it. One of the best examples here is Thymosin Alpha One. This peptide helps the immune system learn how to react properly. It can calm excessive immune responses, while also strengthening areas where the immune system may be weak. Hashimoto's is a condition where the immune system is confused. It is both overactive and underfunctioning in different ways. Thymosin Alpha One is like a teacher, helping the immune system get back in line, follow instructions, and stop overreacting to its own tissues. Another peptide in the same thymus family is thymulin. Thymulin plays a role in immune signaling and neurological function. Many people with Hashimoto's experience anxiety, brain fog, mood instability, or difficulty concentrating. It is not just a thyroid issue. Hashimoto's affects the brain, and thymulin may help support immune balance and neurological calmness. When used together with Thymosin Alpha One, the combination becomes a powerful immune modulation duo. Let's talk next about LL37. This is a peptide our immune system naturally makes, but it can become depleted in people with chronic inflammation or autoimmune disorders. LL37 supports antimicrobial defense and tissue healing. In some cases, it may help reduce chronic infections, including gut or sinus-based infections, that can trigger Hashimoto's flare-ups. However, LL37 can also be stimulating for some people, so it is a peptide best used under guidance and not for beginners. Another peptide often discussed in autoimmune circles is CJC combined with ipamorelin or other growth hormone-releasing peptides. Hashimoto's can sometimes slow down metabolism, impair recovery, disrupt sleep, and reduce muscle tone. Growth hormone-releasing peptides may help support recovery, lean body mass, collagen production, and metabolic health. But these are not immune peptides. They are supportive peptides, meaning they do not directly fix Hashimoto's, but they may support symptoms that Hashimoto's contributes to. Now, let's talk about inflammation, which is one of the biggest battles people with Hashimoto's face. Chronic inflammation can cause swelling, puffiness, joint pain, brain fog, and weight resistance. KPV is one of the strongest anti-inflammatory peptides. But another one worth mentioning is ARA290. This peptide is usually discussed for neuropathic pain and inflammation. Many people with autoimmune conditions experience nerve sensitivity, burning sensations, or widespread inflammation. ARA290 may help calm that down by reducing inflammatory signaling in the nervous system. Although Hashimoto's itself does not directly cause nerve pain, some people with autoimmune conditions experience overlapping inflammatory issues where ARA290 may be helpful. Let's shift now into something extremely important, and that is the connection between stress, the adrenal system, and Hashimoto's. Many people with Hashimoto's develop adrenal dysfunction due to chronic stress, long-term inflammation, or difficulty regulating cortisol. When cortisol is unbalanced, symptoms like anxiety, insomnia, irritability, exhaustion, and brain fog get significantly worse. Peptides like Selank and Semax may be supportive here. Selank is known for its calming, anti-anxiety, and mood-stabilizing effects. Semax is known for supporting focus, cognition, mental clarity, and memory. These peptides do not fix the thyroid, but they help the brain feel better while the body is healing. And when the brain feels calmer, the immune system tends to calm as well. Let's move into gut peptides again for a moment, because gut repair is absolutely foundational for Hashimoto's management. Many people ask whether they should take KPV or BPC157. The answer is often that they work well together. KPV specializes in inflammation reduction. BPC157 specializes in tissue repair. Together, they create a gut environment that is less inflamed, more resilient, and better able to support nutrient absorption. People with Hashimoto's often have nutrient deficiencies like low iron, low ferritin, low B12, low vitamin D, and low selenium. This is not always because of poor intake. It is often because absorption is compromised. By supporting the gut lining, peptides may help the body absorb nutrients more effectively, which may support thyroid function over time. Now, let's talk briefly about the thyroid gland itself. Peptides do not replace thyroid medication. They do not act like synthetic T4 or T3. They are not thyroid hormones. But peptides may support the tissues around the thyroid, the inflammation surrounding the thyroid, and the immune response targeting the thyroid. Think of thyroid medication as addressing hormone levels. Think of peptides as addressing the environment the thyroid lives in. When inflammation is high, thyroid medication alone often does not make people feel better. When inflammation goes down and the immune system calms, thyroid medication works more effectively. Let's also talk about the emotional side of Hashimoto's, because peptides can play a role there too. People with Hashimoto's commonly describe feeling disconnected from themselves. They describe feeling like their personality changed without their permission. They describe feeling tired, overwhelmed, overstimulated, and undersupported. Chronic inflammation affects neurotransmitters. Hormone imbalance affects mood. Immune dysregulation affects brain chemistry. This is why peptides like Selank and Semax can be such powerful tools. They help support a more stable emotional landscape. They help support focus. They help support calm. They help support cognitive clarity. When the brain feels less chaotic, healing becomes more possible. Now let's talk about lifestyle synergy, because peptides work best when the environment they are placed into is supportive. People with Hashimoto's often benefit from a gluten-free or reduced gluten diet, not because of a trend, but because gluten molecules share similarities to thyroid tissue. This is called molecular mimicry. When gluten enters the bloodstream through a leaky gut, the immune system may attack it and then accidentally attack thyroid tissue as well. Reducing inflammation through food, sleep, stress reduction, and gut healing creates a more receptive environment for peptides to do their job. Time is another factor. Peptides do not work overnight. They build results through consistency. They communicate with the body slowly and steadily. Many people notice improvements in inflammation, digestion, stress response, or energy after several weeks of use, not days. This is a long-game approach, especially with autoimmune conditions. Now, let's talk about symptom-specific peptide support for Hashimoto's. For fatigue, people often respond well to mitochondrial support peptides like AOD9604 or cognitive peptides like Semax. For gut issues, KPV and BPC157 are common. For immune modulation, Thymosin Alpha One and Thymulin are strong tools. For mood swings or anxiety, Selank may help create emotional stability. For inflammation flare-ups, ARA290 or KPV may help calm the storm. And now, let's take a moment to discuss dosing philosophy. I will not give medical dosing instructions here. I am simply going to speak in generalities. Many peptides used for Hashimoto's are used subcutaneously, while some such as Semax and Selank are intranasal. People often start low and increase slowly. People also often rotate peptides based on symptoms. The key is consistency, awareness, and working with someone knowledgeable. Before we close, I want to acknowledge something important. Hashimoto's is a condition that can make you feel like you are fighting your own body. It can make you feel like you don't recognize yourself. It can make you feel like healing is too slow or too complicated. But you're not broken. Your body is not working against you. It is doing its best with the tools it currently has. Peptides are not magic, but they may be additional tools that help the body remember how to regulate itself again. They may help calm inflammation. They may help repair tissue. They may help balance immune responses. They may help the brain feel clearer and calmer. Healing with Hashimoto's is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about supporting the body layer by layer. It is about calming the immune system, nourishing the gut, supporting the thyroid, and creating a life that feels like you again. You deserve that. You deserve to feel good in your body again. And you deserve to have tools that help you get there. Next to last disclaimer. This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Always work with a licensed medical professional before using peptides or making changes to your health routine. Thanks for listening, keep learning, and stay curious.